Okay, so if the purpose of descriptive statistics is to summarize the characteristics of a variable, then we need to discuss the different types of variables. Now, you might run into different breakdowns in other stats classes or textbooks, but ultimately there are two main types of variables in a dataset. You've got numerical variables and you've got categorical variables. Now, numerical variables represent numbers that are meant to be aggregated. So these are things that you add up or you calculate averages for. And categorical variables represent groups or categories that can be used to cut or filter numerical variables. And we'll see an example of that in a few seconds. For now, let's take a look at the variables that we have in our project, which are really the columns in our dataset. Now, I want you to pause the video and quickly think about which of these variables are numeric and which are categorical. I'll wait. All right, let's break this down. As you might have guessed, the numerical variables are all of these in the left with the numbers, right? And the categorical variables are all the others. Now, we do have this curious exception in the student ID because even though these are technically numbers, it is still a categorical variable because these numbers aren't meant to be aggregated. The sum or the average of the student IDs doesn't really mean anything. They're ultimately just numerical labels that are used to identify or filter each student. And another way to think about it is in terms of a possible question that you could have about the data. Something like, what's the mean annual salary by work experience? Well, that clearly shows that we're aggregating the numerical variable, which is the annual salary, and we're filtering it by work experience, which is categorical. So again, that's your quick intro into the types of variables and how we're going to be using each type going forward.